Hello everyone. Today is not a good voice day, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Today, December 13th of the lovely year of 2020, is 2 years on hormones for me. Woo! Now, to be absolutely clear, it's 2 years of blocking my testosterone. The estrogen came in January 2nd, so we're still a few weeks away from that. But yeah, 2 years, here I am. Speaking of HRT, that's actually the first thing I want to talk about. So my doctor, who is the chief medical officer of the establishment where I received my HRT, was able to override their COVID restrictions specifically to bring Amanda in with me to be trained to stab me. And finally, for the past several weeks, Amanda has been doing that, which has been great because I don't have to do it myself, which I always have that moment of hesitation, and I don't hit as many veins back there, so it's good. I can't really speak to the other factor that drove me towards this particular injection site, because it's supposed to be less of a roller coaster, but I haven't had enough time to really gauge that, especially with my period in the middle of it, so I don't know, but maybe, we'll see. But more concerning than that, by far, is the fact that my doctor looked at my latest set of numbers, compared against 6 months ago, and decided that I should lower my estrogen dose. And I want to be extremely clear about this. I will do whatever my doctor feels is best for my safety and health and transition, but this just doesn't make any sense to me. Last time we did this blood work, my numbers were exactly 0.8% lower than where I am now. So it's a 0.8% increase, which to me isn't even really worth mentioning. That's well within the tolerance of what the test can actually test for. And she wants to lower my dosage by 18%. And I'm just sitting there doing the math, and I'm like, okay, so apparently this number we got last time was absolutely perfect, and now it's 0.8% higher, and you want to lower my dose by 18%, and I'm just math. And it doesn't help that they initially told me, lower your dosage to current dosage. And I'm like, what? I can't lower it to what I'm currently taking. And there was an argument, and it went on for 10 minutes and 2 calls. And they were like, well, you're supposed to be taking this much. I'm like, first of all, no, I'm not. Second of all, that's not what I've been taking for the past 8 months. And they did not believe me until I actually said to her, look at the last prescription that was sent out. That's the dosage I've been doing. So I'm like, is this just them not knowing what I'm currently doing at all? Do they just... what happened? And as a reminder, we came up from the level she prescribed me at this point because I wasn't feeling great on it. So I'm like, even that we know doesn't work for me, so what are you doing? And this wasn't told to me by my doctor. This was told to me by the assistant that she has, and I can't have a bidirectional conversation with her and be like, hey, this isn't the plan we discussed. We wanted to go as high as possible without being dangerous so that we could lower my testosterone blocker. And last time my numbers were perfect in your own opinion, so I'm just kind of trying to understand the rationale behind this. And the thing is that my testosterone went down again to the absolute lowest it's ever been, and below the threshold she said she wanted to have it be at for us to consider lowering my testosterone blocker. And of course they tell me this literally yesterday at 6 p.m. and I know my doctor's not back in the office again until next Tuesday, which is the day after I do my shot. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this time. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to her anyway because I need to get a letter from her in January for my surgery. Maybe that's how long I'll have to wait to talk to her, but I guess I'm just gonna follow her instructions and remind her of our own plan that we developed together, because it's as if she just completely forgot this plan and I don't know what to do about that. So the good news is that she is completely willing to write my letter. In fact, I had to tell her, no, don't do it yet because I need it to be dated within the entirety of the year of 2021, so I have to wait till January. So the point is I have that letter lined up, no problem. Which is a good thing because my darling new insurance provider already started trying to find a way to deny my bottom surgery claim. They were like, oh, so you self-administer? No one was there to witness it? And I'm like, really? Already? I'm like, I have 2 years of lab work. And yes, I have witnesses. I have my roommate, I have Amanda, and several videos on this channel and elsewhere, and especially in my Instagram story, photos of every single injection I've done. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? You're barking up the wrongest tree you could possibly bark up with that. So yeah, I'm kind of anticipating a fight. And weirdly, with all the stuff I've been through in my life, I wouldn't trust it if I didn't have to fight for it. Like, that's just where I'm at. But on the subject of bottom surgery, I've officially hit a wall where my surgeon's office doesn't want to give me the info I need to tell my insurance provider what I need to tell them to make this happen ahead of my consult, because I wanted to be like done with my hair removal before that, and that's just no longer in the cards. So honestly, I've given up, because there's no point fighting them this hard when I have a path that they want me to follow anyway. Fine, we'll do it your way. Which messed with me. I spent a solid weekend just crying about that, because I'm like, I want to be making progress and I'm not. And it's super frustrating because like, it's a totally artificial barrier. Like, it's people saying no, not like physics or time. And I'm like, okay, cool. Guess I'll just sit here and wait the full 18 months doing absolutely nothing to get ready for this. A lot of my friends are like, oh, you got delayed due to COVID, right? And I'm like, no, this is exactly when I scheduled this appointment over a year ago, and I'm still 6 months away from it. And believe me, I checked. I called them several times and said, hey, I have to update paperwork with y'all. By the way, is there a new sooner appointment available? No? Cool. Great. And I'm reminded of the fact that like the only reason they got me in as soon as they did, because it's normally closer to 2 years, is because there was a cancellation. Like, it's just a long, long time to wait for a consultation. And again, it's the consult. Like, it's gonna be at least another 8 months after that before I actually go in for surgery, I guess, based on no facts, because they're not telling me anything. I'm just really frustrated and feeling really, really stuck, because I actually am stuck, and that's a reasonable way to feel about the situation. And like, my bottom dysphoria, if anything, has gotten much worse. So I don't know what else to do. Like, I just have to wait, suck it up, deal with it, and it sucks. I did get back in touch with my old gender therapist, who's going to write one of the 3 letters that I need for surgery. We have something on the calendar for January, so that's good. That way I can line everything up and get the next letter that I need, and that'll be all 3, and I'll be good to go. I'm trying to decide if I should go back to her, especially while I'm dealing with this, and especially dealing with like leading up to surgery. There's going to be a bunch of appointments for that, and like recovery and everything. Maybe it would be a good idea to have that support. I don't know. I guess we'll talk about it in January, which is like 3 weeks away. Speaking of hair removal, I did not go back to my electrologist, despite the fact that it actually is legal for them to perform electrolysis at this point. They changed the language of the restriction for COVID such that they have to be wearing one of those face shields the entire time, and then it's totally permissible. But I still don't feel comfortable going back there. And like, it's not so much the risk of COVID that's making me feel that way. Like, that is a concern, and obviously I'd be exposing myself more than I currently am by not leaving my house ever except for blood work. It's the way she responded to me telling her it's illegal. Like, she literally just gaslit me. She told me, no, it's not, you don't know what you're talking about, send me a source. And then I sent her a source and she never responded. And the next text I got from her was, hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. So I guess we're just not going to talk about the fact that you continued to perform your job while it was illegal for months and months during a pandemic. Cool. Lovely. Love that. But that really sucks, because like, I gotta start over with another electrologist. I just like, there's a safety level there that I need to feel and comfort, and that's precisely what's lacking at this point. So it particularly sucks that I can't do anything about it by my own choice at this point. And like, it is not lost on me the fact that I'm going to have facial hair come in during my surgery recovery, and I really didn't want to be dealing with that. But honestly, so much of that is like the pandemic, and no one can help that, and everybody's lost something in this, and I don't really get the right to complain about it. Do I? The point is, similar to my genitals, it is a source of constant struggle and pain for me, and I don't have the ability to really do anything about it at this point. So I'm stuck with that too. Which is why I had that aforementioned sobbing weekend where I'm just like, I'm stuck with everything. The only thing I can do is keep doing my shots. That's it. You know, I'm just sort of going through my second puberty and trying to enjoy the ride as much as I can, keeping up with shaving, keeping myself like together as much as I can, working on my mental health with my other therapist, trying to get my stuff together. The idea of having to depend on Amanda for my shots right now, while not technically true because I could absolutely do them myself, you know, it's practice for this, because I'm going to have to rely on those around me for support and everything during this, and I'm not very good at that. Like, fierce independence, that's something that I developed as a result of abuse, and I need to like let go of some of it sometimes because I need to let people actually help me, especially when they're like so willing. Amanda is like 1,000% willing to help me with everything I need to do. She's gonna be there for my consult. She's gonna go through this entire process with me. She's gonna be right by my side, probably filming me because again, I plan to vlog through this. And like, I need to allow her in. I need to tell her I am scared. I need to work on that. That's why I'm practicing with y'all. Again, I wouldn't be sure I was taking it seriously if I wasn't scared about it, because it is major surgery, it is a major recovery, it is a major event in my life. It's really daunting, and I need to like allow myself to work through that emotion instead of just pretending it's not happening until the day it's happening. Fortunately, I have a friend who is seeing the same surgeon that I am and is ahead of me in this process, and we've been in communication, and she's been really helpful. She's been sending me whatever she can about what she's learning about what's going to happen, which is how I know that actually like sometime in the past month the WPATH standards changed and we don't have to worry about me going through menopause again by dropping my HRT completely before surgery. I will have to drop my progesterone. I don't know what the timeline is for that, but with estrogen, apparently they switch you over to patches and then you just don't do them for a week prior. So that's pretty awesome, especially for those around me, because my roommate and Amanda were just like, this is gonna be hard. You know, a week is a lot better than like a month or 3 months or sometimes longer, depending on the surgeon. And I'm like, nah, you're not gonna like me when I run on T. I didn't like me when I ran on T. With everything going on, I'm really just trying to keep the perspective that this is not forever. There is an end in sight. I know what I have to do. It's just gonna take me more time to do it than I anticipated because of a global pandemic that no one could have predicted. And because it just takes that long. And I'm privileged enough to be doing it in the first place, and I need to just be happy with what I actually have, because I am on this trajectory where I am going to resolve these problems, and like, I need to be grateful for that and happy with how far I've come. So yeah, that's everything. That's my transition update for the start of month 24 of HRT. Still alive, still fighting, still working, still making progress. Just really slow, really slow. And I kind of anticipated that, because especially with me front loading my legal transition and everything and trying to do so much so quickly, I knew I was gonna hit a wall at some point, and now I have. So I'm just trying to get through each day, get through each week, get through each month until I get to my consult, and then it'll be the same thing but with a countdown. I'll have a surgery date and that'll be great, and there'll be lots of like little appointments in between where I have to get stuff done, including hair removal and everything according to their schedule, and I can make all that work. So I will be back sooner or later, probably next month, once I get through getting my letters together and everything, just to let you all know that happened. We'll let you know what's going on with my HRT, if I'm going down or staying the same, or what I'm doing, what my doctor's rationale for that was, because I just can't wrap my head around it. But for now, that is it. Stay curious. Have a lovely day, everybody.